It was a great honor to work for Digital. It was the company to be with.
Just tons and tons of camaraderie and teamwork and working together to find solutions.
The excitement is what I remember the most. The excitement of being at the top or very close to the top. The excitement of new products, new services.
I'm part of it, and that makes me proud.
When I joined the Digital, I was very shocked. Such a different culture, environment compared to the other Japanese company where I used to work.
We were all devoted to Digital. I used to work 7 days a week. I never claimed overtime. It was a privilege.
I think the most fun was finding time to go to a Woods meeting.
You were an individual, and that individuality was valued.
I always felt there was tremendous push and encouragement in the company for people really to reach, excel, for people to continue to raise the bar.
I've worked longer for Digital than I have for any other company in my whole career. The only other company that comes close is a small company called IBM.
It was like being part of a very huge family.
People really cared about your future. So that was a nice environment to work in Digital.
It's talking to me already.
Right.
Hello there. I'm now going to show you how to operate this computer. First, find the go bar and press it.
No one was in any mood to start a company in '57. We went to American Research and Development Corporation, who were in the business of starting companies. So we went to them and made a proposal that we want to make computers. They were fascinated. So they had us go to their board of directors. They said, don't use the word computers, because Fortune magazine had said no one was making money in computers and was not about to make any, so we didn't use the word computers. We said we'd make modules. And they said, promise fast results, because most of the board was over 80. So we promised to make profit in a year. They ended up giving us $70,000 with the right to a loan beyond that. That $70,000 lasted us for about 8 years. We moved into the old mill. The mill was just an ideal place for us because it allowed a lot of expansion. We had no idea we'd expand so much. We had great visions, you know, but nowhere like it happened. I was looking at an old news release a couple days ago, and the local paper, when we started, said, we look forward to hiring 10 people and eventually going to 40.
One of the things that used to happen was Ken Olsen would always come through the labs and start talking to you and finding out how things were going.
When I was in Boston in a sales unit, one of Digital's experiments was to enter into retail. And one of the pet projects of Ken Olsen's was those retail stores. And I remember one day when Ken just suddenly appeared and looked around and said that I needed to replace my wastebasket and paint the walls. So I was kind of shocked that the president of a multi-million-dollar company would care enough to come down and make those kinds of comments.
It was just neat to have him around and to be caring and concerning about what was going on.
The environment of Digital from the very first day at Open Business 40 years ago was an open environment where people could communicate freely with one another. The hierarchy was much less important than the communication. It was an environment where individuals could thrive because their rewards were based on their competence and their successes.
Back in the 70s, there was no real status quo in hierarchy in Digital. Everyone worked together in a homogeneous team, and everyone was a partner, so to speak. Teamwork was at its essence, and the roll your sleeves up and really get down to the problem was something that each employee prided themselves on.
It was a little bit on the cowboy side, and you really didn't pay attention to rules, and you used to ask yourself, what is corporate again?
Drive 1,000,000 miles to meet the bottom line. More than peripheral, I work for digital.
And people felt there was, tremendous license to do anything you wanted, but if it was handled responsibly, that's exactly what we want.
The freedom to do the work in the way that you wanted to do your work.
I find it hard at the beginning because it was very informal. It is still very informal. You do a lot more business in the corridors than you do in your desk. But I think it was necessary for us to be able to be upfront in the development of technology.
I can say I was conquered by this entrepreneurial spirit, by the fact that people could make a difference, the passion for winning.
For me, it was always the possibility and the opportunity for the individual to take responsibility. You always have had a team around you, which makes you able to take the risk.
Those values became my values, became part of who I was and part of who I am today.
Out is the LA36 printer, the fax,
the PDP-8,
mission critical support services,
StackNet,
Ethernet.
When I first started, computers were things that were behind glass doors, glass windows. People were in there working on them with their white coats, and they're very standoffish.
In the hotel business I was running stuff on PDP-8s and PDP-11s. People were still running on IBM 360 batch systems. I was running in real time. That's a big difference. I mean, we were light years ahead of what was going on.
One of the significant contributions has been Alpha, 64-bit computing. I think it has allowed people to do things in computing that have never been done before.
The pioneering work that we've done with remote diagnosis and the customer support centers is something that much of the industry is trying to copy.
Our technology around networks and communications and information have provided the framework for the internet today.
The VAX days, when we didn't have to even sell anything, customers came knocking on our doors and begged us to provide them service and hardware.
The 80s, there was just, the sky was the limit. We could, at that point, do no wrong, but we hadn't been jaded by it yet. I remember us looking in Business Week when we had our big deck world with the QE2, and there we were in the table of contents. Digital has arrived, and it had a picture of this big truck that said, "Digital has it now."
We had 100 days, essentially, to get ready to receive 27,000 people, which seemed impossible.
We worked night and day. People volunteered. In fact, if you weren't on the Deck World team, you just felt out of it. And pulling it together and seeing it grow from, bare cement into the final activity was a real sense of accomplishment.
The European ones were held in Cannes on the Côte d'Azur in the south of France. And one of the high spots, certainly for the digital staff, was to see which particular ocean liner was going to cruise round the bay, and that was going to be your home for the next 2 weeks.
It was just such a great spirit in those days. Everybody worked hard, they played hard. It was a great team effort, and that was something that was unique and was a lot of fun.
During the early 90s, there were a lot of changes in the company just from the fact that history was marching on. And a lot of the assumptions that had been made in the past about what would sell and what wouldn't were changing.
Well, for the first time since it opened for business, Digital Equipment Corporation has a new Chief Executive Officer. Robert Palmer officially succeeded DEC co-founder Kenneth Olsen today as President and CEO of the nation's #2 computer maker.
We have exceptionally good people in this company. We have leadership technology. We have the broadest category of solutions for our customers. Digital is probably the best company in the world for tying together the disparate products from different vendors, whether hardware or software, on a single network and having them work together.
There were certainly some challenges in the 90s, and it was my job basically to promote the company and to find good news about the company. In many ways, I was focused on the good things that were happening, and there were quite a few good things.
Services represents customer relationships based on reliability, quality, and expertise. It translates into customer loyalty and incremental business.
There are many visions of what the internet will become. The truth is, no one really knows what's going to happen. But as the computer company with the most internet experience, we've learned to engineer systems that anticipate this vast uncertainty, so that you and your company can approach it as one huge opportunity. Digital, whatever it takes.
Digital, was wirklich zählt.
Digital, plus que jamais.
And I truly believed that we were going to make a comeback. We had been the most admired company on the planet, and I didn't want to bail out and be sorry that I did.
Digital can meet your needs for open client-server computing better than any other company.
I don't think we should ever let go of the good things that we experienced at Digital, the great feelings that we had. In fact, we should try to find ways to keep that spirit and that part of the culture alive. The culture that really did value the individual. I think that's how we can enrich Compaq. And then in the same breath, it's almost sound like a paradox, we have to be able to let some other things go about Digital and be able to embrace the good things that we're going to find in an organization like Compaq.
And I believe Compaq's success over the last decade or the last 15 years basically speaks of the great spirit, the great cultural values, and the excitement around here. And that is the most important thing we need to preserve. And I believe that we have a very strong common base in that respect with Digital.
Compaq is known as a winning company, and Digital, after all, became a winning company again. So my thought was, the both of us, we should be a supernova.
You brought us together for the time of our lives. The things that have mattered will always survive. And history shows it. You've changed the world for good. And you gave us a lifetime of the friends that would be ours. Digital will carry the torch for you. 'cause we'll never say it's through. It'll always burn so true.
Regardless of the good times, the bad times, all the changes we've been through, I think Digital's people come together in an amazing way and support each other and support our customers.
It was a wonderful place to work. Digital's always been a nice place to work, even during the tough times, a nice place to work.
This precious feeling of knowing we all are one. Yeah, it's been a great place to be. The best of all the things we've won, Digital. We'll carry the torch for you. Let it burn, let it light our way forever, 'cause we'll never say it's through. It'll always burn so true.
The opportunity to work with some of these people is just amazing. Their commitment, their intelligence, their dedication.
My whole life has been with Digital. I mean, I am Digital, and Digital is me. It's pretty tough to separate the two.
Knew people's families, you attended, weddings, graduations, funerals, and you shared in more than just a business life.
It's interesting as I look back over the years, there have been times, and it's still true, when Digital has almost been an extended family, I think, to all of us.
It was a great place to be.
Cause we'll never say it's through. We'll carry the torch for you. Cause we'll never say it's through. It'll always burn for
you. Nearly half a century of achievement and excellence, friendship and good times. Digital Equipment Corporation. It's been a great place to be.